Okay, good morning, everyone. This is Sachin Karnik here. I want to welcome you all to Angel Wings monthly retreat. Today is the 18th of October, 2025. We are having an extraordinary, wonderful topic today, and that topic is inner and outer harmony in our life. You know, there is obviously so much to be said about this. We talk about this in many different ways in our many different Angel Wing programs. All throughout the year, in our personal transformation program, there is this entire notion of balancing, creating balance in our life. Our Angel Wing program is extremely practical. It is applicable program. When we have on a monthly basis this wonderful opportunity to dive much further into these concepts from multiple perspectives and to try to tap into the higher ideals of the quantum principles. So harmony itself is a quantum principle because we want harmony in life. Who doesn't want harmony in life? Everybody wants that. But what does that word mean? You know, what is meant by harmony? How do we go about it? What is needed for it? All of that is what we're going to be looking at beautifully today. So before we begin on this subject, I want to make this very interactive, as we always do. Please make sure you have some notebook with you to take some notes. Again, this is all being recorded. I mean, my comments are being recorded. When you are making comments, I'll hit the pause button so that some people don't like their voices to be recorded, so we won't be doing that. But I'll repeat the questions and summarize those comments in a more generic way. Right, so that's the process we will follow. I want to begin by opening this up just to kind of see where each person stands in their in your approach. Like, what does this word harmony mean to you? Right, so let's start with that. We have Debbie. I mean, we have a couple of people online here, so each person can give their perspective first, and then as you're talking about it, I will then go into a much more detailed presentation after we are done with our introductory statements. So if there's anybody who would like to begin, this is the time to do so. What does harmony mean to you?
Actually, if you are very happy, thinking of being very happy. When you are sad, thinking of, so the balance, even if you are happy or unhappy.
Okay, so there's a couple of points you're making here to begin with, right? The first point, if I heard you correctly, you talked about external situations that cause imbalance, right? Something like that. Let's stay with that point for a moment. So I'm going to use a little different approach here. I'll ask you some questions and kind of see how it opens up. Why do external circumstances cause an imbalance? Why does that happen? Why
See, the energy that comes from the outside world distorts our energy inside.
So you're saying that the energy from the outside world...
energy, like there's so many things, like now news. If you look at the news, it really bothers. There are some people it doesn't bother them, but for somebody who takes it everything personally, for them it definitely changes their harmony.
Okay, yes. Okay, so hold on. Devidji, can you adjust your camera a little bit because we're only seeing half of your face? Maybe you can come in the middle a little bit there, So, okay, yeah. Because it's coming on the side a little bit. So it's okay now. Yeah, okay, there you go. That's fine. So this is very interesting. Let's explore that. That the outside circumstances, people, news shows, whatever, it comes inside. We were just talking about that in the morning satsang, the internal, internal mechanism of the mind. But why is harmony disturbed? Do you see the question? I mean, we can start with harmony, can't we?
Yes, but we start with harmony. We create good thoughts when something, because of attachment, too much attachment or expectations and all those things distorts our harmony a lot.
Right. So remember, there's two approaches. One approach is to try to develop harmony, right? But there's another approach when we start with the resonance of harmony, resonance and harmony. Remember, these are our two basic. One is a long-winded approach. In morning satsang we talk about, in angel wing we also talk about this as far as his qualities. There's a long process of trying to get to a harmonious state. And there's a backdoor approach. The backdoor approach is, there is resonance with that state. So let's talk about the backdoor approach for a moment. What is that resonance? Now, that doesn't mean that we don't take steps. I mean, we obviously do to try to reach that. But those steps become very straightforward when there is hour-to-hour, moment-to-moment resonance with harmony. So this is my question to all of you online. How does one achieve resonance? What is resonance with harmony?
Sachin, one thing I've realized, if we have the knowledge of letting go,
okay,
that makes it easy for us to come back to the harmonious life.
That's one of the things, yes.
But letting go is only there when we're holding on.
Right.
Yes.
If we're not holding on, there's no question of letting go. If we're not holding on.
When we watch the news, things get into our system, whatever you call it, mind, but immediately we need to say that this is temporary, and then we just have to let it go. That knowledge of thinking everything is passing by. It's not a permanent thing. That will definitely help in getting harmony.
Go ahead, Sachin.
Nowadays, I have seen, if I can say something.
Please.
Nowadays, I have seen if I do not judge, like even when I'm doing something, if I do not judge it, if it is good or it was bad, anything, the news is good or bad, the whatever happened that was good or bad, or what I am doing is good or bad, if I do not judge it, I am able to, I do not get disturbed that much. Otherwise, I used to get disturbed by each and every one. The smallest of things upsets me. It still is there. I'm not saying it is all gone away, but I am like noticing it even when I'm doing my prayers or something. So yesterday I was doing whatever and doing puja, and I was sleeping. Like I went to sleep while, like, again and again, means I made my blank. This thing was blank. I was not thinking anything, and I was like sleeping. So, but usually, previously, what used to happen? I used to get angry on myself. What am I doing? I used to judge myself. Yes, you're doing bad. But now, I did tell Sachinji. I told him about it. No one else. Only Sachinji. Only I told him, and I was like, I was not angry, not on myself, not on anything, and I was like, I'll do it again. But today also, actually, at the second part of it, first part was okay. Second part of it, during my prayer, I again was like dozing away. I was. So then maybe what I am doing, that is making me so calm. Maybe that's why because I am a very anxious person, so I'm always anxiety all the time. So, but then if I do not judge it, just my thought, if I do not judge it, this I did, this was good, this is happening, this is good, or this is not bad, this is not good, something, so anything, the diya, we have to put a diya during our puja, no? So the diya, like in between, it like went out on its own. So previously, I would be like, it's such a bad omen that the diya has went off. Nowadays, I'm not judging only. So when I'm not judging, I'm not thinking, and I'm not angry. I do not have any feeling about it. So like, that is what I'm feeling nowadays. I do not know this is right or wrong. I do not know, but this is what I'm feeling, and it is making me feel. I am feeling better. Yeah.
Okay.
I like that point, about judging, judging others, judging yourself. That does create an imbalance. So if you can try to stay away from all the judgments and just, ride the waves, so to speak, you could have more harmony.
Yeah.
That's a good thought.
Not it's not always possible, though, of course.
Right.
But, yeah.
Right. Yeah. It's,
It is not, but yeah, when it is happening, I am. It is happening by its own, and when it is happening, I am like feeling happy. Actually,
Yeah,
I'm feeling happy
yeah.
about it. Yeah.
Right.
I totally agree that we become very judgmental about others as well as ourselves.
Yeah.
And then we try to, then the imbalances happen. So the conscious effort is to, like Sucheta says, observe it and take a step back.
And let it go.
Let it go. Let it go. Let it go is the biggest mantra for all the issues. But Sachin, your question of you said harmony, to achieve harmony, think first yourself, you're a harmonious person.
Yes, it's resonance. So the resonance with harmony would automatically put us into a state, a sustained state, where we're not hanging on to anything. We're not
Yes, but the external forces may influence, then imbalance happens. So then we have the tools like Sucheta ji said, not to be judgmental, letting go and all those, and bring back our resonance to harmony.
So,
is that what it is?
So yes. So there's still effort to bring about harmony. So that is the first path. There's two paths to try to keep and maintain harmony and bring it back again and try to develop it. This is a process path. It's a path where there is a way to try to bring that about, right? So, but there's another path which most people don't know about, and that other path is 100% resonance, and that's the second path. The resonance path is a meditative path where I bring inside my mind, we can try it even today a little bit later on, is to bring inside my mind the concept of harmony and get it so clear that concept, that thing which I consider to be harmony, or what is harmony for me, what is harmony all the way around, that's me. I am that. That's what it is. So for example, there's no hanging on to anything. Everything is temporary. It's already there. So it's not letting go of anything. It is not hanging on to anything, because there's no need to hang on to anything. You see, there's a difference. I have to let. Hold on one second. I have to let go of attachments and problems and impressions and this and that and stories and people and the conflicts. I have to let go because I'm hanging on, right? But if I start with the resonance that I am not hanging on to anything, there is nothing I'm hanging on to, nothing, nobody at all. Hence, and in not hanging on, there's no issue of letting go. So there is harmony right there.
So, but Sachin, I understand the point, and then on theory it is fine, but in practical reality, something will trigger.
That's
something
because,
might trigger.
No. That's because we're falling out of harmony. See, there's a difference between trying to how can I say this? Trying to develop harmony versus recognizing the falling out of harmony. Do you see this point, Deviji? Debbie, do you see this point?
Yeah, I do see, Sachin, but the problem is, I know for sure, I have been listening to Angel Wing, and it has given me so much knowledge and everything that all the past, we have been just not want to carry as a burden.
Yes.
But what happens is, you are resonating yourself as a harmonious person.
Yes.
We are, but I don't know how. We are human beings. Sometimes something unpleasant or very happy, our emotions are all over.
Yes, that means that there is still not 100% resonance. That's what that means.
It's very difficult, Sachin, to be very, very difficult. I try my best, and I try not to react. Like in Bhagavad Gita, they say, Stita Prajna and all.
Yes.
For any of this.
Yes.
But
so do you remember? I've given this example many times. Let's say Debbie has in her purse $100 billion check, but she remembers it for 5 minutes. Oh, I have it there, and then the next 5 minutes she forgets it. So she shifts between a billionaire and just an ordinary person who is just working here, there, doing this. If you forget, it's the forgetting of the harmony. If it's the forgetting that we are already in that state. The moment I forget that, I'm going to be stuck in all kinds of distortion. But if I don't forget that, if I don't forget it for a minute even, then even 1 hour lived in harmony is one of the greatest states in life.
Absolutely, I agree.
Right?
I really totally agree.
Because we forget it. That's why in Sanskrit we say vismruti. Smruti and vismruti. Smruti means remembrance. Remembrance of who I am, what I am. And then everything that is not that is left aside naturally, not by force, not by any kind of resistance. It's just I have nothing to do with that. What do I have to do with that other than have a reaction of have a vision of compassion, grace, those good qualities? So Debbie, you and I have talked about this before also. Like if Jesus was to watch the news, he was to watch our CNN and Fox and all that, how would he see that? And how are we seeing that? It's very simple, right? He's not falling out of harmony. He's not getting trapped in what's going on inside the world. He has compassion. And so once we recognize how is he seeing it, how is an enlightened person seeing it, then we are going to be in harmony. Once we put ourselves in that position. It's going from one position to another position. And this is the greatest spiritual practice.
The problem is we forget.
Of course. You just said it right now. We forget.
We forget it.
Try to remember.
Yes. Right.
Try
because
to
the
remember.
body has been conditioned for many, many years to get rid of all these things and start with a clean slate. That is very important.
Of course. It seems very hard, right? It seems like there's so much to... Actually, resonance is not hard. I'll give you a simple example, the sponge. You have a dry sponge and a bowl of water, right? Very simple analogy. They put the dry sponge in the bowl of water. Does the sponge have to try to absorb that water? No. It's naturally absorbing it. It's resonating with it. It's naturally absorbing. So resonance is the same as absorption. So absorption of that state where there isn't any conflict, there's no worry, no tension, no fear, none of that thing is. Sachin is not to absorb. What to absorb, what not to absorb. Right? So that understanding comes about that harmony is my natural state. This is our theme today, is harmony. But what does that word mean actually? So first, before you can absorb harmony or resonate with that, one needs to be crystal clear what is harmony. So let's start with that. When we say harmony, what are we talking about? Let's start conceptually, then we will move into both of the paths of trying to develop harmony, and then the other path is the resonance with harmony, and they actually connect together. So they're not at odds with each other. It's not like path A is against path B. It's not that. They are always together, but there is a direct resonance, and there is a much more long-winded development of that resonance. I hope this is clear. If you have questions, ask about it. But I think we need to begin with the word harmony, the concept. What is it actually? So Devi mentioned a bunch of things already. She talked about energy. She talked about external situations that cause some agitation inside. That's what's happening. But okay, my question is even more fundamental. When you think of harmony, what is harmony?
For me, harmony is peace.
Yeah, that's my word.
So, okay, hold on one second, because I'm the moderator here, so I'm going to moderate this a little bit here. There's no ego involved with that, but I'm going to challenge you a little bit. If we say harmony is harmony peace, or is peace the result of a harmonious state?
Peace is a result of harmonious state.
Right? Okay, go step by step. Go step by step. Peace is, okay, Sucheta, go ahead.
Yeah, my harmony is that if I think about something, I have to do this. And if I am able to do that, I am at harmony.
Okay.
If I think I want to do it, and I am able to do it, because I have so many things that can divert me. I cannot start telling you what all can happen.
Yes.
In my thing, because I get upset at so many such small things. But if I am able to do what I think that I will do it, no matter things go wrong, I'm telling you that even now things go wrong, but then I'm like, there are incidents that happened. I did something and something went wrong in that.
Okay,
but I was like, I came home and told them I just don't want to be upset anymore. If something did happen wrong, but the whole day everything else was so good, I do not want to be, I will take out some solution for this thing. And I'm just, this is a very new feeling for me. This is a very new feeling, and I'm like really enjoying it. I do not know what it but yeah, harmony is that. For a very long time I've thought about it. If I think of something, I want to do it, and if I'm able to do it, I am at harmony.
Okay, so let's connect what Devi is saying with what Sujita is saying. Very interesting, right? That what ought to be done in the next 5 minutes, in the next 10 minutes, is actually done. It's not delayed, it's not diverted. We've talked about this concept before, right? Okay. So what does that do? Sucheta says that will bring about harmony. You feel good about it. That's what Devi is saying. She's saying that peace is the result of harmony. Okay, so we're trying to unravel what is harmony, right? So is peace not? So we can write these points down. Peace is where our inner space is very steady. There's peace inside. Okay, fine. That's understandable. That happens, what Sucheta is saying, she's saying that if I follow through on the right actions, hour to hour, minute to minute, 10 minutes to 10 minutes, like this, following through without diverting, if the feelings are much, much better. You feel good about it. Okay, so now you have to, so there's the significance of follow through. Okay? All right, let's just take that one step further. Why not follow through? What is it about us that that prevents us from following through every hour of every day? Because what is it about us? Why don't we do that? Go ahead, Debbie. Yeah, go ahead. Just openly talk about it, please.
Sometimes I don't know.
Sachin, we have the mind of being procrastinating.
Yeah, but why?
Right.
Yeah. Why?
Why? Because we are too comfortable in the shoes the way we are.
But see, this is the whole point. That word comfortable that you just used, that is actually discomfort.
You're right. Absolutely right. That disturbs the harmony, but we are
right?
very...
So yeah, you're right. We're too comfortable because we're in a certain pattern, that our mind is in a certain pattern, but that pattern is not harmonious. when a pattern is not bringing harmony, to recognize it and to change it right away, to not be in that pattern. So that, but Sachin can only do that if I have a vision of the best pattern for me. Does that make sense? Debbie, does that make sense? I want to make sure it makes it. Our purpose is not a lecture, okay? This is not a lecture given by Sachin to all of you. This is about us contemplating together. That's what Angel Wing is about, particularly during these monthly retreats. Does that make sense?
When a pattern is not harmonious?
Yes. A pattern shows up and says, I feel like doing this, just doing nothing right now, just watching, 3 hours of Netflix. But another part of me knows that by doing that, that's going to cause an imbalance. Now, maybe doing that won't cause an imbalance. Maybe that's the right thing to do at that time. Exactly. And that's fine. And but I have to see, is it taking me out of my natural harmonious state? Because obviously, see, there's so much involved. We cannot just perform the same activity endlessly. It's not possible. I mean, for example, if I am doing Bible study or study of the Gita or some prayers, I can do it for half an hour, 1 hour, 2 hours. Maybe I can sit even for an hour in one position. But I can't just be sitting there the whole day like that. So even an activity that may be a very good, positive activity, if I just push myself to do that, that will cause an imbalance. So the concept of harmony has embedded within it the ability to shift from one action to another without causing imbalance, without causing a disharmonious state. And that's what self-mastery ultimately means. So even if it's a good action, like let's say I can say that I'm going to study the Gita I'm going to study the verses of the Bible, do this. I can do that for 45 minutes, half an hour, whatever. But then what? Even though it's a good thing to do, it's a good positive. I just can't just be doing just only that. That life doesn't work that way. If I'm just doing that and nothing, I'm ignoring other aspects of my life. I'm causing disharmony, even through an action that is very positive, very good. Do you see this point?
Right.
You know what has happened, Sachin, that we human mind is so manipulative that we reconcile in whatever situation we have. It may be discomfort for a short time, then we just forget about it and then we just move on.
This is why a vision, a personal vision of what is harmony for Sachin. The concept is a general concept for everybody. We have 4 people online right now. Beautiful. 4 million. TK. Fantastic. But the concept is a generic concept. What it means personally for me, and it's my, Sachin to be in a state of harmony is going to be very different from Debbie being in a state of harmony. But the harmony is not different.
Mm-hmm.
Do you see Debbie's life that is harmonious with all the mixture that you have, the mixture that I have, is everyone's is unique. You cannot copy somebody else. But the concept is the same and the state of harmony is the same. Go ahead, please.
You talk about, external influences. I think things were easier years ago. Now there is even more. There's double, triple, quadruple outside stimulus.
Yes, okay. So what?
It just makes things very difficult. So say, we got this new dog.
Yes.
And he has a chip and he's registered. But now on my email, I'm getting, bombarded with different sites, and it's so annoying. And you don't know what's true and what's not true and what you should reply to or not reply to. So, that's just a simple example, but on my email, I'm getting all these things, and it drives you crazy. Now I won something from Walmart. I won something from Lowe's. It's like, where does all this stuff come from? These people don't have my email, but they do.
Yes, they do.
So it's annoying, and it does cause a shift in your imbalance. Just a simple thing like that.
Yes, it can. Absolutely. It certainly can. Now, getting a dog, you want the experience of having another dog at home, etc. But there's things that come with that. There's emails that come. There's food you have to buy. You have to train the dog. There's so much that happens when you take any action. When we take an action, see, I'll give you something that happened just last week in my life. I was trying to purchase some cough syrup or something from Amazon, NyQuil or something like that, right? So now they've instituted a policy that they want to have your date of birth or passport number or something like that, to verify your age, right? So I was like hesitant to put that in there, but you cannot buy certain items on Amazon unless you put that information in there. They want a date of birth and license number, driver's license number, or they wanted your passport number, So I called them. And they said, no, you have to do that. Otherwise, you won't be able to purchase this thing online. But once you have it, they say it's secure. But I spoke to some representative there. I mean, what are you going to do, right? At some point, you have to have a bit of trust to say, it is what it is. That our information is out there. I mean, driver's licenses are out there, other information. We think things are protected as much as we think they are, but it's not necessarily the case. I mean, we have to submit electric bills sometimes. We have to give our information out to so many different people if we want to get things done. So that's just the nature of living in the modern world. That that some of our personal information, or maybe a lot of it, is accessible in various places, in various data. I mean, if you get a credit card, your social security number, your home address, your date of birth, your history, everything is there. And there's quite a few number of credit breaches that happen. So nothing is 100% secure. But one has to make a decision and then be comfortable with that. You see, and that's what it means to live in the modern world. That we are definitely bombarded by a lot of stimuli. It's a great point that you're making. But at the same time, there is a determination that needs to be made. How much information do I give? What emails do I respond? Do I need to have all that, or subscribe? The practical steps to take to maintain that balance, to maintain harmonious living, right? That's the key. And there's a judgment call. There's a judgment call to be made every time. So, for example, Debbie, take the dog. You got a dog. Now you know very well. You and your husband know that by getting a dog, it changes the dynamics of the home, changes your schedule, it changes your finances, it changes your emotions, it changes everything around, because you want a certain experience by having the dog. That it's a family member, like having a baby in the house, and it's loving and caring, and it's a company, and emotions are better. And I mean, there's a lot of benefit to having a pet, but there's also a lot of responsibility, and there's also attachment that develops. Nothing wrong with that, but there is attachment that develops at the same time. So that's the way it goes, right? When we take a step in a direction and we want a certain experience, there are other corollary factors that come along with that. Marriage is like that. Getting a pet is like that. Dating is like that. I mean, in any dimension, going to a university is like that. Any action we take, there are ramifications. Any action. Having a grandchild is like that. Exercising. Every single action has ramifications.
And you have to keep your balance throughout.
So So we can say we want to keep our balance. The other path number 2 is I am in balance, and the actions are performed through that balance. That's path number 2. That's a different path. I'm resonating with balance, resonance, and then I'm going to continue to move ahead. Right? So now let me ask you, what is that resonance? If you're saying there's resonance, what does that word mean? What is resonance? Take your time. What do you think it means? To resonate with. Resonance is not to develop the quality. It is to
being synchronized.
Synchronized with it, yes. To synchronize with it, right? To synchronize with it. What happens when we do that? If we do that. So for example, resonance... go ahead.
If we can do that, then there should be peace within and balance.
Yes, there would be, right? If we are doing that, then before we take an action, we are able to see all of the ramifications to the most part of what's involved in that, and then to enter into that domain without resistance. Sometimes people act impulsively because they just want that experience, but they don't realize what is involved by entering into that domain.
Mm-hmm.
Is that true or not?
Mm-hmm.
Right. So, I mean, this is true throughout life. That when we make a decision to enter into a domain, there are experiences that we want from there, but there are many other corollary pieces that come in play that are connected with that experience.
Right.
Like Debbie getting a dog. Let's just use that as an example. Getting a dog. Why do you want to get a dog? Because what do you want from the dog? I mean, did you get a dog, Debbie, so that you could actually, walk around with the dog? So the main purpose is to, when the dog is, doing all the droppings and all that, and you're carrying those bags, that's the reason why you got the dog.
No, not exactly. It is. It's company.
But hold on 1 second. That's part of
that's part of it. Yes.
Right. So you cannot have a dog without carrying those I don't know what those bags, those green colored bags, the
little plastic bags.
Those little plastic bags. I've seen Chaitna do that, for years. She's got so many dogs, right? So getting a dog, I said, yeah, now I want to ask you something. When you actually got this dog, did you have in your mind that I'm going to have to pick up all of these dog droppings, and that's why I'm so excited about doing that. That's why I'm doing that.
Right.
You don't think about that. We kind of push that away.
You think about the good points first.
So okay, but now here's my point. Why is that not good?
That is just part of it. And it's not the good part, but
why not? I mean, what? It's a great service to the community. It's a service to the dog, and maybe, I mean, it kind of sounds silly to say this, right? But you see how our mind is focused on something that one aspect of the experience, not the full aspect of the experience. So if you're in a state of harmony, are able to see the full range of what is involved before entering into that domain.
Right. Even, having a baby, that
yes,
even more
obvious, so. Much more so, having a baby, having a child. I mean, these are fantastic experiences, but there's a lot of stuff involved in that. I mean, it goes on for years and years and years. It goes on for a whole lifetime, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
And so this is the point. Before entering into a domain of experience, be in a state of harmony, and then with eyes open go into that domain of experience, not partially.
Mm-hmm.
right? If one goes with eyes open with a 360-degree vision, Debbie, we've talked about this before, a 360-degree vision with eyes open, what happens then? Then we say, okay, wait a minute, where's my likes and dislikes? Am I prepared to have a dog and be ready to train the dog and to do everything that I need to do and to walk the dog and to take him to the vet and shots and this? Am I ready to do the whole thing? Plus, this is how much money it's going to cost for the next 10 years, and is that going to fit into my budget? And am I ready to do all of that? And if there's even one part of you that says no, don't enter into that domain. You have to be ready. Otherwise, if a part of you says no, that I don't like this part, is going to cause disharmony. It's going to imbalance somewhere. Because having a dog is going to change the dynamics of your family. It's going to change your schedule. So like you made a decision to have a dog. Like if somebody was to people ask me all the time, Sachin, why don't you have a dog? I said I have difficulty with myself. You're talking about taking care of another being. I'm just kidding. But I mean, it's just one of those things that it's not. I mean, I would love to have I love animals very much, but because of the way my life is, I'm not prepared to have my schedule and other things disturbed because of that. It's just so that's not going to work for me. But there's no judgment towards anybody else. The point is, before a person enters into a domain, open your eyes all the way through. Don't enter into any domain until you see the whole picture. This happens in every aspect of life. The gambling thing is an example. Drugs are an example. Relationship is an example. Food is an example. Pets is an example. Everything. Jobs, careers. And there's unknowns, right? There's things that happen once you enter into a domain. You don't know what's going to happen. There's the things that are not in your control. How do you know what's going to happen? So this is very interesting. Internal harmony and external and harmonious with the external world. Other comments, questions about this? So we cannot change what has happened in the past, but we can be very mindful about which domains of life we're going to enter into. And what to do. I mean, I'll give you my example. If I go to a religious organization, I kind of said it before in our other programs, I'm trying to be very mindful of what those people are believing, what their thoughts are, who they are. I don't want to ever get into any kind of a debate with them about anything, because that's not the place to do that. I just want to there for respect and love and affection and be very mindful. I have to watch myself. That's not a place for any kind of a real, objective. You're not going to have an objective debate with any of these people. It's impossible. It's nearly impossible. Very few, whether they're churches, synagogues, temples, or mosques, or whatever they are, you go into any of them, and to go in there with a sense of objectivity to try to examine an area like a university class, that's not the right place for that. You see, so if I try to do that, I will cause an imbalance for me and for them. Do you see what I'm trying to say? No, I have to talk to them on their basis and interact with them in a limited way based on their beliefs, ideas, and then to try to, resonate. And it's taken me years to be able to do something like that, because our natural tendency is to get into some kind of a discussion about, what I think is right versus what you think is right. Do you see? So that's another example of an imbalance. So this is a very big concept. The notion of harmony is very huge, very huge. Okay, other points that anybody would like to make? Very, very amazing, very interesting. Well, there is a small story here. I'm going to do a screen share here with you. So we're going to do some videos also. Give me just a moment here. Hold on one second. Where did this go? There it is. Okay, and then at 10:30 we'll take a break. Just one moment here. So please watch this video. It's about 7 minutes long. See what you think about it, and then we'll have more conversation about it.
Being peace. Introduction. The need for inner and outer peace. In a world filled with conflict, stress, and uncertainty, we often wonder, how can we find peace? Many people believe that